Cool. Now, after you have your main pattern here, you've created this melody. The next thing that you want to do now is just beautify it more, add some more sauce to it. And this is done through adding other effects, so affecting the melody that we have created or the pattern that we have just created. So I'm going to send this to the mixer and here. So here's what I'm going to do. I still like maintaining the dry levels of the the default dry sound in itself. I don't like putting the effect, slapping the effect directly on this. So to do that, I just route this to another channel where I'll be adding my effects while maintaining the same dry sound that's coming in through the inset one on our mixer from our guitar. So let's do this. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here is add actually on the main channel, let me add just a compressor just to even out the dynamics. I usually add comber, but don't overdo it. A bit of makeup gain. So a bit of makeup gain about a dB or 1.5 dB is enough, and I don't really mess around with the attacks on this compressor or the release. Pretty much just use your ears to make sure the dynamics of the guitar, because the peaks, the transients of the guitar are always high, unlike the sustained sound of the guitar. So okay, good. So now the next thing that we're gonna do here is, after adding the comber, I put my EQ. I EQ everything here. So when we look at our spectrum, since we're making a melody for something like an Afrobeat, we probably don't need the low end in the guitar, because they're gonna clash with our bass or sub bass or whatever other low end frequency instruments that we're going to add to it. So I want to just make sure I just make a cut here, a low pass, a high pass. I make a high pass filter here with band 1, and then I'll cut off up to like let's say 90 or 100 hertz, 95 to 100 hertz. We don't need much of the low end information, but don't cut too much, because you're gonna take away from the whole feel and the energy of the melody. So yeah, just a little bit, and just to shape it. Okay, so this sounds cool. Now we come to our effects tab here in second channel. So what I'm gonna add first is let's try to add something like a sterilizer. Let's see how that affects. So we're going to add, if you have any stereo plugin, I'm just gonna be using Stereo Shaper by FL Studio. I'm gonna choose it's pretty much the second preset, or if you can set it up yourself, just make sure you turn your delay of one speaker. You actually, because that's what stereo is all about, is actually delaying one signal to you duplicate the same signal, or signals that look similar, that are similar, or the same signal, but when you duplicate it, you delay one. So the other one is pan to the left, the other one is pan to the right, but one has to be delayed for it to create a stereo effect. So here's what happened. This is something that's happening here. So we're delaying to the right of our speaker by like 28 milliseconds. So let's hear how this sounds like. Now you're getting something, right? You're getting somewhere. You can even adjust fit your test. For now, I'm gonna leave it at 15 milliseconds, somewhere there. So now what you're gonna notice is that whenever you apply almost any stereo plugin, especially these stock basic stereo plugin effectors, you're gonna feel like after the stereo is after the stereo effect is applied, uh the one signal that you're gonna feel like your head is being tilted, like this imbalance, and because one signal uh is playing first, and the other one is delayed. So one signal is being played first. So the one you over time your brain is gonna notice, like, okay, because your brain is sensitive and it can notice minimal changes, even that delay in milliseconds. That's why you're able to even perceive that stereo effect. So you have to play around with the phaser, so that at least the phasing should create that, should be able to, it just makes your stereo, when you add the phasing to the waves, the two signals, it kind of like balances them. So we'll try to phase to the left, and let's see how this sound as we're phasing. 30% is good. So you have to keep, play around these knobs until you get something that really sticks. Yes, something like this. I can add also, now we can also add something cool to it. We can also add, you can add something like a flanger. It really gives that cool effect. So I have, let me add this, a chorus effect. You can add the chorus effect or a flanger. So let's try the vintage chorus. It's a plugin, a third-party plugin. Also, you can use the stock plugin too. Now we're getting that juicy, that melody. Try to blend it with our original signal, our lead signal. Remember, I was trying to keep that one dry. Can add now some reverb. I can add reverb to actually the effect track, or I can just add it directly, but I'll have to balance in between the wet and the dry signal. So let's try to add reverb. Play around the knobs, the size, cut some lows. Increase the decay a little bit. Can even change the alignment here. We put the reverb down so that the reverb should affect, we put in the arrangement here, I'm putting my EQ after the reverb so that the reverb should also be EQ'd. So that's pretty much just the logic, because reverb introduces these low end frequencies also. Immediately when you add something, it will introduce the effect will have low end frequencies that you actually don't need. Remember, we were cutting those, so this is why I'm putting it after I'm putting the EQ after the reverb. Now you got something here to work with. Cool. If you're into Afro and you wanna maybe add some more, like if you wanna proceed to make a beat from this, you can do that too. So for example, if you wanna add some shakers or anything else, this is how it would sound like. Just to give you an example, clear example of how this melody would be turned into a full beat. So let's do this. Thanks. This one sounds good. It's simple, but yeah, can bring it here and let's see how it sounds. Something like this. And then you can freestyle to it, you know. Kicking around, I could be the rollout song. You don't wanna play that right now. Show me how you run now. Now we can ask to be around. How still you wanna get along. So yes, just make sure you keep it simple and the rest flows like that. So if you've watched up to this far, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I'll try to leave the links in the description for the plugin that I was using, which is Dynamic Guitar, or you can try to download it. Just try to type in Dynamic Guitar on Google and you're gonna have the links to the plugin. So if you have enjoyed this tutorial and you'd love to see more of these tutorials, please, you can support me by subscribing, commenting, sharing, leaving a like on this video, and see you next time.